What is Meta You? It is the ability to go beyond your limitations and beyond your current career and create the life and the business that you really want to create.
So our next speaker is the one and only 007. I hear people clapping in the back.
Hey, I get to follow Tom Ferry, huh?
Yeah, for you. Just kidding. All right, guys. So Brian actually happens to be my husband. He is the founder and CEO of Sisu, which Sisu is we can kind of give him a rundown of what Sisu is, Brian, in a second. But I asked Brian to be here because, like Tom had mentioned, he said this like in the last 2 weeks, multiple times on his Instagram and everything, is that right now, like, you have to be making data-driven decisions. And we are heading into 2021, which everybody goes in and does their business planning and are looking at their numbers. And so I thought, who better than to have Brian, who works with the top brokers, teams, agents in the country, to go over like what they're doing moving into 2021. So Brian, thank you for being here.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thanks for the invite.
Your internet, you look really mumbled to me for some reason. Maybe it's just me though. So keep going. You're okay.
It's not clear. You can't see my picture.
Well, I can see you. You're just like kind of crystallized. It's all right. Keep going. It might be me. You're fine.
Okay. All right. So anyway, Sisu is a growth automation software company, and people are like, growth automation, what is that? Everything we do is focused on growing your business and automating your business. And so that's why we call ourselves growth automation software. As I jumped into real estate about 6 years ago to work with Spring, basically we discovered that most businesses, especially real estate businesses, most people in real estate do not run their business like a normal business runs their business. So there's so many things you need to know as far as numbers, as far as just efficiencies, as far as just not using spreadsheets all day, every day for everything. And so that's really what Sisu does, is just simplifies and makes it easier for you to run your business, set goals, hold yourself accountable, hold your team accountable if you run a team. And, from there, really take the transaction all the way from when it gets handed off from your CRM, when you mark it hot, all the way to closing it out on the back end with efficiencies.
So, Brian, the reason I wanted you here was I kind of want to know, I do want to know, you're in conversations all day long with like the top people in the industry that are selling thousands of homes, and their agents, their admin. What are they doing right now moving into 2021? Like, what are they looking at numbers wise? How are they making decisions? What are you seeing?
Yeah, I mean, this is the time of year definitely to look at your spend. So many people it doesn't matter what someone, let's see, if you're having trouble seeing Brian's picture. Oh, okay. Anyway, on the spend, people are looking at, what am I spending on all of my leads right now? Because if you're going into a new year and you're spending $20,000 a month on a lead source that is not profitable for you, it's definitely something you should reevaluate today. I think the other thing that everyone's doing right now, everyone is doing their business planning. Most people have already done that. If you haven't done that, definitely jump in and start doing your business planning, because what you're doing today, as Tom just mentioned, is actually what you're going to see those results in January and February. It's, you have another week, maybe up until Thanksgiving to get a closing that's going to close out by the end of the year. So you're really working right now for next year. And so the top teams, they don't stop right now. Most of the industry, 80% of the industry will stop working from Thanksgiving to New Year's. Those who don't will go into January having their best month ever. Those who stop working, they'll pick it up in January and they'll start actually making money again in March. So the top teams don't stop working from Thanksgiving to Christmas. The top producers don't either. Everyone else does.
Well, what's interesting too is that, like Tom said, I mean, interest rates, if you guys missed this, because he said at the very beginning, I know his audio was kind of cutting out, interest rates went down for the 13th time just today. And so with that and everybody putting such an emphasis on where they live, that you're going to see that in our market, like especially in Utah, we have a lot of seasonality, that you're not going to see the seasonality this year. So, but I know people lay off the gas because of the holidays, but the reality of it is you should probably be capitalizing on the market we're in and just being tired in 15 months. Like there really isn't that time to stop. So Brian, one of the things, I don't know, I see it on here to share. One of the things that's been super crucial in my business that has been helpful with my agents, the agents in my brokerage, the team, is really understanding the metrics that they need to, the key activities and the metrics to track in order to hit their goals. And so Sisu has been around for a couple of years, and they track everybody's activities. And so just recently, I don't know if this is live. Is this live now? Because I'm seeing it down below. Did you make it live?
I think you need to click on it, Spring, to bring it into the screen.
It's live for a consumer to use is my question.
Yeah. No, but it will be. It will be in the next day.
Okay, so Sisu has this goal calculator that you, if you're a user of it, that you can use, like if you're a subscriber, but they're also going to make it public for everybody that's on here or a consumer to use, that will be based off of the metrics in the industry or all of their teams all combined or your team. So I'm going to show you guys this because this is a freaking game changer. Like all of my agents, we brought in Jeff Glover from Glover U last week to do a business planning clinic. And there was like 3 pages of knowing your numbers, how many conversations, how many agreements signed, where your lead sources, all of that. And for us, we were like, boom, this is done. So Brian's gonna make this public, but I'm gonna show you guys this because it's such a cool tool for you guys moving into 2021. So I'm gonna add this to the stream. And then Brian, do you wanna walk them through this?
Yes. So I have Jace pulled up, one of Spring's agents here, and this automatically takes into account his average price point. If you are not a Sisu customer, we will actually take the average across the nation. And if that's not correct, and this is when I say the average across the nation, that's for our approximately 20,000 users. And so if that number is not correct, you can change it. You say how much you want to make. Let's say that Jace wants to make 150 instead of 100, even though every agent wants to make 100. Hey, and then this, what's that?
Every new agent, Brian, not every agent.
Every new agent. That's right. Thank you for the correction on that. So his paid income percent is 53, and his buyer percent is 77% of his people that he works with are buyers. So rather than backing into that, if he just hits calculate on that, now all of these numbers are here, and it shows exactly what he needs to do on a monthly basis. And I remember being with Spring's team, as well as others, about a year ago, and backing into these numbers saying, okay, if I want to make that much, how much do I need to make on a monthly basis? And then what does that mean I need to close as far as volume? And then backing into your conversion ratios and the math. And it was taking people an hour to figure out where they needed to be to make that much money. And I remember sitting in that room saying, I'll never let this happen again. Before next year, we're going to develop a calculator that automatically does this for you. So anyway, it's a super simple tool. I think it's something that everybody in the industry should definitely plug into. And we want to make it public for everybody to plug into, because it will tell you what you actually need to do to achieve your goals.
So, Brian, where will they be able to find this if they're not a Sisu customer?
Yeah, they'll just be able to go to our website at sisu.co, and we will have the calculator sitting right there. So it's sisu.co.
Cool. So you guys, in the next couple of days, I'll also put it in the MetaU Facebook page where you can find it. It's absolutely free. I just asked him to share this because it's been a game changer. Just like Steph put on here, it's been a game changer for my business. It really is a way for you to be able to visualize like $150,000 in this example, how you can get there and what you have to do on a daily, weekly, monthly basis to be able to create it. So with that being said, Bri, I think one of the things that is interesting to me, and again, this is really all about numbers, and then the rest of the day is more strategy. But like Tom said, you have to make educated decisions, right? What's been interesting to me is how quickly do agents or team owners or brokerage owners make decisions? You're seeing this. Like, talk to us about how quickly, like what decisions, when Tom just said, there's decision fatigue of like, how do we do this, right? Or what should we do? Or is this the right strategy? So what are some of the things you're seeing your clients do, and how are they making their decisions, and how quickly?
Well, if you don't mind, Spring, I'm going to share your dashboard here, because I think this is a key way to make decisions.
Okay.
We're going in to, and if you want me to take that off, just let me know. But we're going into New Year's, and this time of year, everyone's thinking about what they want to do next year. And then I think you all know, if you look back to last year, and this happens every year, we all set a New Year's resolution or New Year's resolutions. And sometimes we hold strong on the business ones, but the personal ones, the average is we keep that resolution. We know what it is for 21 days. After 21 days, most of us don't know what our New Year's resolution even was, which is why the gyms are full for the first part of the year and then they're empty. So with business, it's the same thing. I think most people will set their goals, and in today's world, it's gotten so much easier to make decisions more quickly, but it's been very common for people to make a decision maybe once a year. This is the goal I want to achieve, and I'm going to shoot for it. I'm going to reevaluate that in a year. Now, imagine if you start evaluating that on a monthly basis, which a lot of people do. They'll have their CFO prepare financials, and at the end of every month, a week later, they'll get those financials from their CFO, and they'll be able to evaluate what's going on in their business, and they'll be able to make decisions. By doing that, you can actually make a decision 12 times a year. Now, imagine taking that to weekly. Now you can make 52 key business decisions a year. And now if you take it daily, forget the weekends, you're going to be up around 250 something decisions per year. And I look at your dashboard as a good example here, Spring. You have certain goals here. These outside lines are your pacer. This lets us know you're on pace here. But this month, the month of November, you're just off pace on a lot of these areas. And by seeing this,
it stresses me out, is what it does.
Okay, it stresses you out, but it also allows you to have conversations with everybody to make sure that you turn it now. Because if I, as an agent, or if I, as a business, if I go a day and I don't do anything, my business struggles. If I go 2 days as an agent, it's even more. But if you go a week as an agent without doing anything productive, it's really hard to get back in line. And if you go a month without doing anything productive, your year is ruined. So, I mean, it's really important you're looking at this on a daily basis.
Yeah, I think it's interesting, because they talk about, so if you miss 1 day a week and you don't make it up, right? So, and let's say you're working just for easy 52 weeks of the year, which I know we don't. That's 52 days of activities you didn't do, which is almost 2 months. So right there, 2 months, you might as well take that off of your overall goal, right? And so I think it's really interesting. Like, you'll see, like right here, looking at this, you guys, like we're going to close 102 million. Our goal is 100 million. However, like right now, like we're in the blue. And so the conversations I'm having with my agents right now is, hey, your activities are really low. So your activities are low right now to where these results are going to be showing up January, February, March. Are you really wanting to go into the new year without having the transaction count that you're wanting? Right? One of the things that's been negative in our business is not negative, it's just part of it, is we've been very buyer heavy. And so right now, like in our world, is you make an offer and you're competing, I'm sure, with everybody else, 20, 30 offers on a property. And so the agents are spending more time with these clients. where in reality, that should still be happening. However, looking at this, they still need to be time blocking and still adding into their pipeline of new business, right? So they're looking at these metrics, Bri. What other key metrics besides just the how many appointments, conversations set, met? What are the other things on decisions where they can really understand what they're doing?
Yeah, first, before we go off of this, I want to key in on this section right here. Conversations, appointments set, and appointments met. If you, as an agent, will make sure that those are always in the yellow, starting today, that you are doing the activities required to make everything else in the orange and red, meaning be on pace or have achieved your goal, then what you'll find is if these are completely under your control, your conversations and how many appointments you go on, that's completely under your control. And you might say, well, it's really not, because I talk to the people, I just don't set the appointments. Well, if that's your situation, you need to work on your skills. You need to work on getting your, your scripts down, knowing how to ask the right questions so that you can get the appointments. But this is 100% under your control. And if you'll make sure that you're always doing what you need to do to hit your goals right here, the rest will fall into place. It'll always be in the yellow or orange as well, meaning you're hitting your goals.
Yeah. Okay. So the reason that this is crucial is obviously real estate's a contact sport. You heard Tom talk about it doesn't matter if you're making videos, contacting them. It doesn't matter if you're doing pop buys, open houses, Zillow. Like, you are in conversations with people, right? So I know that it doesn't matter, like, if you use Sisu or if you're even tracking on a spreadsheet or however you're doing it, but you need to be tracking the conversations and the activities you're doing in order to make educated decisions, right? What other key metric do you feel like they should be looking at, that your top teams or agents are looking at?
So I think one that's there's a couple of things that are really easy for us to do to make a shift in our income. And most of us, when we set goals in real estate, we set income goals. So your GCI right here, if this were 3% or 3.5%, I actually know teams that charge 3.5% for every listing they take.
Right.
And guess what? They're making a whole point higher almost than your team, per transaction. So that adds up. If you're getting a full point higher on each transaction, that can have a major impact on your income very quickly. In addition to that, down here, looking at average price points, if we target and maybe work a little bit smarter on, rather than just taking any lead, but actually aggressively go after certain areas where they have higher price points, by focusing on maybe you do several open houses in an area around a higher price point listing that you've gotten, which is going to allow you to pick up higher price point buyers.
Yeah.
And if you can take your price point from $338 up to $450 or $500, it's going to have a major impact on your business. So you can actually impact your business in so many more ways than just how many units you're going to sell, how many homes you're going to sell.
Right. So, Brian, one thing I think would be interesting, and maybe you know the answer to this, maybe you don't, is what are industry lead conversion ratios like per leads? Do you guys have a way of tracking that, of saying, hey, really, if you're this lead source, the average teams are doing X, Y, Z, or do you guys have that yet?
So, I mean, we have all of that information on all of our teams. Our teams own that, so we don't share that, but we certainly do have the average for the entire industry, at least our customers. When I say the industry, I'm talking about our 20,000 customers. We know exactly what lead sources are higher and what are lower. And we haven't done anything with that data today, but certainly there are different lead sources. If I just look at conversion rates, and this is for you,
I didn't realize my whole business was going to be on this webinar.
Here's your conversion rates.
You're welcome.
Maybe you don't want to share that, but the reality is,
it's funny.
Everybody's conversion rates are different for each agent. I mean, even if you look at your business there, I think leads are so much a mindset. I know a lot of your agents they'll do great with OpCity leads and not with Zillow leads.
Right.
Well, why do you do better with an OpCity lead? Because you're paying 35% referral fee on it, so you're more comfortable selling it? I don't know for sure why that is, but I think there's a lot of mindset that goes into different people liking different types of leads. And I don't think they're better or worse. I think it's just how we treat it as an individual.
Right. All right, guys, what questions do you have for Bri? One of the things I do have a question for you is, so we talk a lot about being a tech-enabled agent. Technology is coming in at such a high level for all of us, right? From lead sources, lead gen, websites, like even your social media is technology. But what are you seeing like for a tech-enabled agent to really streamline their business? I know you guys have on your back end, like Sisu runs my whole company. And it's interesting because this was not meant to be like all about Sisu and the product, but I think it ends up showing you guys like you can literally, it streamlines it so you can be in conversations. Because one of the things that even Tom hit on just recently was that you're going to go do all these things like video, contact all your clients, track your numbers, like, and then when you think about it, if you took a step back, you're like, man, that could be overwhelming. But that is why you use technology to make it easy. So, my question to you is, and I already know this, so this is kind of a weird question, but how do you guys help the agent grow from start to finish? Like from cultivating the lead, you guys do not do that, but from ultimately getting the lead in here, like, and making those educated decisions and even the contract to close, you have that component as well, right?
Yeah. So first I would say I see a tremendous amount of single agents that don't have their own CRM because they don't want to spend $1,000 a month. If you are a solo agent, you better have a CRM. You can't follow up on leads without a CRM. And I would say that Sisu is equally as important. When I was actually selling real estate and Sisu didn't exist, I remember actually writing down in a notepad like this. I would write down every month like the 10 people that I thought I could put under contract. And every morning I would look at that. Well, with Sisu, those people are sitting in front of you every day if you go into your agent accountability report. So you can just look and see that. But it's so important that you do that. It's so important that on a daily basis, you know if you're falling behind on hitting your goals so that you can step it up. And when I say your goals, I'm talking about your activities. The activities are what are going to drive that. The lead measures are what drive the lag measures. So if you're not doing the lead measures, don't expect the results. And so, I mean, what can agents be doing? I think it's really important that agents choose 2 or 3 things that they're really good at, and they focus on those instead of trying to be everywhere, I'll drive 2 hours to go on this appointment because I can't create an appointment on my own that's 10 minutes from my house. Different things like that. I mean, focus on what you're really good at. And if you're not really good at anything, figure out what you want to be great at and master those skills.
Right. Okay, you have 5 more minutes. So what nugget would you share?
I think it's really easy in today's world to just fly by night, fly by the seat of our pants, especially with how much is going on in the real estate industry. The industry is full of, every family has 3 family members in the business.
What? Oh my gosh. I feel like that's us.
So it's really important today to set yourself apart and bring value. Mm-hmm. And, if you're reaching out, calling somebody, add value to them. Share with them something about the interest rates, what's going on in the market. Bring value. Don't just show up and ask questions. It's so many times I hear people all the time ask the question, well, are you ready to buy or sell your home? Well, that's not a good question. You don't want to ask that question. You want to ask questions that make them feel like you care about them, not that you're just out to get paid $1 by selling their house. And that's how that comes across if you ask that question. So I think it's just really important that the people have gotten smarter in, like, if you go shopping, I don't care what kind of shopping you're doing, you expect customer service. You expect someone who can actually take care of you, someone who's knowledgeable. And you can't do that if you're not the expert yourself. So become an expert and bring value to every conversation, and your business will take off.
Very cool. Okay, they're asking, do you have a video tutorial on how to use Sisu?
So we have, if you're a Sisu customer, you can actually go into our customer knowledge base, and there are videos around every aspect of Sisu. But sisu.co/onboarding has the best videos on how to get started.
Yeah. Also, I think you guys have a free 7-day trial, right? For anybody who wants to, they can try it out and
That's
see.
correct.
Yeah. Very cool.
So if you want to get set up on a free 7-day trial, just go to sisu.co and just click on demo, request a demo, and they'll get you set up on that.
I think one thing to reiterate is that the market right now, like Tom said, and we all are very familiar with this, that it's popping, and you're seeing that with all of your clients, and you're in conversations with the different tech companies and everything. And so right now, part of the reason we're doing this is to hopefully give you some ideas of how to grow your business, and also make sure you're tracking what you're doing to be able to make those educated decisions. So 00, thank you so much for being here. It was last minute. I'm like, they don't want to hear from me. They want to hear from you. So thank you.
Thanks for having me on, Springtime.
Okay, see you soon.
All right, goodbye. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.